Hello everyone. So I just actually wanted to do a quick video in regards to progress on Noel, specifically his mirror doll body. I actually wanted to do this part first to get it completely out of the way because I hate restringing like you wouldn't believe. I'm getting better at it, but I can't stand it, and now my fingers hurt. And as always, I had problems getting the feet on. I don't know what that is. It's consistent every time I restring someone. So yeah, but anyway, I completely restrung him and put the knots in the chest joint like I like. I really hate when it's when the string is up in the neck. Sometimes that does help with getting the head on because you can just pull the string up to do it rather than having to find ribbon and whatnot. But it sucks for, like, you know, putting the head cap back on, and I hate pulling the string through the neck hole because I don't like to mess that part up. It's just a lot of things. So I definitely wanted to restring him and put the knots exactly where I wanted. So I did that, and I actually reused the string he came with. It was actually quality string, which I'm not going to say surprised by because I wasn't technically surprised by it, but I was very pleased. Of course it meant I bought string for nothing, but I'm sure one day that will come in handy. But yeah, I reused the string, and I just cut a lot off of it because he had a lot of string to spare. It was kind of ridiculous. So I did that, and he actually has thinner elastic in the arms than he does in the legs, which actually works out very well. I'm glad I noticed that because I didn't even really think of that, but the channels on his arms definitely only fit the string he came with. I don't think I could have shoved any stringing bigger than that in there, and of course the full body string is much thicker. Now I also added S-hooks. He actually does not come with S-hooks in his hands and feet, so I added those because just to make restring easier and what have you. And I used Cool Cat S-hooks, and I just wanted to note that I actually had to use two different size S-hooks in his hands and feet. So in the hands I actually used their D size. D is in David, and because it's smaller, like I started out with the C S-hooks, C is in Charles, which are actually in his feet. I started out with both the same size in the feet and the hands, but the channel in the arms are much smaller than the ones in the feet. So I put those in, and his hands were just dangling there because the S-hook wouldn't fit in there. So yeah, you'll want to use D size for the hands, D is in David, and C size, C is in Charles, for the feet. And then that works out perfectly, you know, if you ever end up with one of these bodies. Now, as for hot glue sueding, I was recommended all the places to hot glue suede, and I just went with it, except for two places. So he's hot glue sueded everywhere, even the feet, except for this joint right here. Since this isn't an actual swivel joint, I didn't see the point in hot glue sueding it. Like, it's just an extra locking part. I'm not quite sure the point of it. Maybe it's just for stability reasons, but I'm not sure. Regardless, I decided not to hot glue suede there because, like, this joint fits in here like a swivel joint, and I really didn't want anything to hinder that locking in there. So I didn't do that one, or the hands. I didn't feel it was necessary to do the hands because it is not a circle joint. It is actually square-ish, rectangle-ish. So, like, it locks in this way, and then it can lock the other way to turn. So since it won't really be moving around a lot, I found that pointless, so I just didn't do it. So I did hot glue suede everywhere. I kind of want to hot glue suede like right in between there, but I might not because I don't want to cause any more like weird joint separation. I want the body to remain looking nice. so far I'm very, very pleased with this body. I actually do not have any complaints about it. I wish I did, but I don't. I actually don't mind the single jointed knees. Especially since with my boys, I usually don't make use of a double jointed knee that much. With my girls, it's very, very important, but for my boys, not so much. And same with the swivel joint. For my girls, I really, really love them to have it there. I mean, if they don't, I deal with it, but I love for them to have it. With boys, it's not so important. And I actually don't really have complaint about the hands because, again, I have different standards for my boy bodies than my girl bodies. So we'll see what happens when I one day, because I know it's going to happen, when I one day get a Meridol girl body and see what happens then. But I'm very actually satisfied with this. I love the weight of the body. It actually does pose very nice. I mean, of course, some things like, you know, in the legs, it's very simple posing, but it works. And he's a solid stander, and he can slouch extraordinarily well, as I showed in my last video, and he can still do that. I added the hot glue there just in case it doesn't really need it, but I was able to do it, so I did it. And I definitely hot glue sueded here because this pops out a lot. Even with the hot glue, it still pops out, just to warn you. But that's why, like, for me personally, that joint, I don't necessarily need it unless it's like the Decadol joint. The way they did it was so nice. It has actual locking, so I don't mind it on those bodies. But if you don't put any sort of lock there, like, it really drives me nuts to put that joint there. So I don't actually use that joint a lot anyway. I use mostly chest joints. So this actually, this joint here, I don't really need it, but I'll deal with it. I mean, it's there. What can I do? So I'm going to go get him dressed, but I definitely did want to show you, you know, all I did. This took 2 hours, so I'm kind of aggravated. I first strung the arms on backwards, which I seem to always do without fail. This is not the first time I've done that. I think I've done it a total of like 4 times out of like the 6 times I've restrung someone. And then I forgot the hot glue suede part of his leg, so I had to take his leg off and do that. And then, as always, I had a hard time getting the feet on because, I don't know, I need another hemostat or something because of how I restring. Actually, you know, try and divide the string evenly through the body. And then I actually put the hemostat up here and hold it so that it won't slip through the neck, and then I can freely do the bottom part without one side being strung tighter than the other. So that's what I have been doing, but I think I need another hemostat because when it gets to the feet, it it falls apart real quickly, and I really need like some lead weight on the elastic, but it's hard to do that with no other hemostat to let you do that. So yeah, I'm learning, but I'm very proud of myself today. This is probably the most doll work I'll be able to do today because I'm just like, ugh, this took it out of me. But he is restrung, and I'm very happy. And I'm very happy that the body really does look nice. I was worried, but I guess I don't really feel I had anything to worry about. It's been working out so far. So I'm going to probably start on his face up. If not tonight, I have him sprayed, but if I don't work on the face up tonight, I'm going to start tomorrow, and hopefully by the end of the weekend I can have them done, but we shall see. So that is all. Thank you so much if you watched, and I hope this was helpful just in case you do end up getting this body, and especially if you add S-hook, and especially on the elastic, because yes, I was able to reuse it. So yeah, that's all. Goodbye, everyone.